Hey, what's up, YouTube? 100% here, and this is 100% me to you and Gam, and I have a video for you guys to share my thoughts on the new TCG ban list for Yu-Gi-Oh! February 2018. And let me tell you, I'm really excited on what they actually have done with the ban list because it was out of control. A lot of people is going to disagree when it comes to this list because they kind of did hit the ban list very, very hard. But I completely agree with it. Um, for starters, I just want to before I even get to the list, I just want to talk about Grinder Golem and Gofu, and it was out of hand. It was definitely out of hand. You basically had six Grinder Golems with the three Gofus and the Grinder Golem when the link cards came out. A lot of people didn't get to have the chance to play with the three Grinder Golems and three Gofus. This is around the time that the link cards were very, very like, they were at the moment, you could say, they just started to come out. But it was out of hand. People didn't get to play the link cards right away because it was still new. The game has YGO didn't have them, Death Row didn't have them. I don't even think Death Row has it now. But even the dueling book. Then finally people started to get, I think by then Gofu was already hit to one. But before that, when Goku was basically three and Grind the Golem was three, people didn't figure out about Grind the Golem till later after Gofu was hit. But some people was actually woke and they noticed, like, okay, we have Grind the Golem as well. Long story short, it was too much. It was too much. The whole point of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is to not have more than three cards in your deck. That's regardless. Whether it's limited or traditional. You can't have more than three cards. So the idea you can have up to six cards that does the exact same thing, that's just broken. That's just broken. And we felt it. We still felt the damage. Even after Gofu became one and, Grind Golem was at three. It was just broken. You know what I mean? So I completely agree. I mean, well, putting Gofu at band, okay, that was pretty stupid. But let me get straight to the list. And so starting with Gofu, maybe he should not be banned. It took off Blackwing fodder. I completely understand. And people like playing Blackwings. Blackwings aren't bad, especially now with this list. A couple of decks is going to be valuable still, Link format is is great just because of the mechanics that the game that the the new playing style did. That whatever the links did to the mechanics, the idea of special summoning like a lot less slower from the extra deck helped the game slow down a lot, and we needed that because of the pendulums. The pendulums was way too fast and it was too broken. They hit him by putting the two pendulums back in the spell and trap card zones, which I agree with that. But it was out of hand before. So imagine if they would have not done that and then Link formats would have came out with the Gofu and Grind the Golem running wild. That would have been way too much. That's exactly why they negated the pendulums. But this is not about pendulums. What I'm trying to say is when Grind the Golem was still at three and the Gofus, it was basically like nothing happened. The whole point of putting the pendulums out from being able to protect it with five back rows to three back rows, it was pretty much just to what I'm trying to say is it was meant to so you can feel the movement. I guess what I'm trying to say is it didn't feel like it really changed, honestly. It didn't feel like it changed because of the whole Gofu and Grinder Golem. Nothing really happened. It was too fast. You know what I mean? The whole point was to slow it down, and it was just like Grinder Golem and Gofu was way too much. So thank God that they finally hit it. That's basically what I'm trying to say. So I'm gonna start off with the list now. And yeah, I mean, I agree by Gofu's, staying to one. I completely agree. And it shouldn't have, they should have banned it, but I guess they don't like Blackwings, man. What can I say? Then you got Dandelion. That fucked the plants in general. If they was gonna slow the game, they could have gave plants, just they could have just helped out plants. I don't know why they even did that. That was just like that's crazy. I mean, Dandelion is crazy. You could top with the glow bulb and you could do plays with spore. I don't know, man. Dandelion was pretty dumb. Double Iris Magician, kind of harsh, really. I mean, that shit is beast, really. But I think one could have done the trick, but I still agree with it being banned because you could have done a lot more. That's all you need is one, honestly. But yeah, level eater had to go. That shit was crazy out of hand with the plus one, the curry bows, and the spider and all those link. Yeah, it was too much. Maxi, Maxi didn't even help. People use Pot of Desires and have all these other Pot of Greed cards. Like I don't know why is Maxi on the list, but it could be very sneaky. And I'm assuming the reason why they did that, which a lot of people's not seeing, is in the future there's gonna be a lot of decks that special summon. So it makes complete sense why Maxi's on the list. I still disagree with it, but I guess anything performer power, I just completely agree with it. And I'm sorry about my messages right now. I'm gonna take this out the way really quick. It should even be showing this honestly. Give me 1 second. Because they should even be talking shit right now. That's my team. You already know how GBN is. And they was being crazy on the chat. I just muted them right now. But it pisses me off because, these dudes, they always hit me up. And they're going to be watching this video too. But they always hit me up at the wrong time. Always. It's like, okay, he's making a video. All right, guys. It's fucking annoying. But anyways, whatever. I love them. So, yeah, back to the list. Anything Performer Paul, I agree. We don't even got to talk about Joker. Like, you already know. We don't even got to talk about that. Like, that shit was OD beast. Towers came back. I mean, Colonel is beast too. I don't know how the fuck they leave him at 3, but whatever. To me, I see Colonel as a big eye, But hey, whatever. That's Konami for you. So Towers is back. I agree with it. I play Cleese. They run both the gods, and then Obelisk and Slifer. Some people don't play him like that, but Clifford is just good. Ultimately, so I feel good because I could play that deck again since Towers came back. Grind the Golem at 1. I would love to see Grind the Golem at 1 and Gofu, but hey, at least we got Grind the Golem at 1. He's still pretty good at 1. Performance Damage Juggler. That's just a great tech. Even more support. He's engine. I understand why he's at 1. He was kind of beast. I would have loved to, but with the way the list is looking like from what I'm seeing right now, I could see why he's at 1. Because I heard about the list already now, and I already know what's banned and all that stuff. I'm just giving my ideas out on these cards. Firewall Dragon, that's automatic. I'm actually surprised they brought Monster Reborn. It don't even matter. It don't. People are hype about this card. That shit does not even matter. Spiral Resort. There's way more better cards. Monster Reborn. Spiral Resort, of course. Spirals and Perform Pods. Anything that has that in their name is like it was bound to get limited or hit to the banned. So Solomon Judgment surprised me. Not really because the new counter deck and the whole Angels, but we have Strike, we have Scolding. If you could use Scolding properly, it could be pretty good. Could be kind of annoying. Scolding kind of saves lives. It's just too expensive. 3,000 you got to pay. It's kind of high. Strike is 15. Judgment is half, and half is pretty much free when you have lower life points. But that's dope. That Solomon Judgment came back. It's only at 1 anyway, so it's not a big deal. People are going crazy about that. If it was like at 2, that would be a problem. Morale Attack, the Articraft, he actually came back. Unlimited, he's at 3. That's great. I used to play Hat, so that's good. Blacklisted Soldier, that completely caught me off guard. I mean, kind of makes sense when you have 3 Chaos Sorcerers and the other Twilight soldiers that are out at 3, which pretty much kind of have the exact same effect as Blacklisted Soldier. The only thing is Blacklisted Soldier comes out quicker. So I wasn't surprised about that. I mean, I was, but I wasn't it wasn't a big deal. It was like, okay. I mean, you could pretty much just make a deck out of Blacklisted Soldier and win. No, like that is kind of beast now that I'm thinking about it. But yeah, Card Trooper at 3. I honestly don't know why he wasn't ever at 3, especially after, like I said, Pot of Desires, all these better drawing cards and these archetypes that just have more, speed, draw power. He could have been at 3. I know the milling effect was good of a Card Trooper, but with Lightsworn, with cards like Dante and Minerva, like it's pretty much why wasn't he at 3 beforehand? If y'all was gonna make that card, you know what I mean? That's what I didn't understand. That's the reason why Card Trooper's at 3 now, because you got to think about it. Before, you know, he wasn't, and they made cards that pretty much had the same effect afterwards. Dante Minerva, so they started to see like it's pretty much the same thing. If we already had Card Trooper at 3 and Minerva and Dante didn't come out, you understand? So that's the reason why they put that at 3. It just makes sense. They kind of hit Card Trooper way too hard. Thunder King Raiho, I'm really excited about Raiho. Raiho did not work well at 1. You always have to have at least 2. But with 3 is even better. Raiho's a great card. I agree with that. Brianna, completely garbage. Should have been in a 3 since they changed the effect. Brain Control, same thing, garbage. I heard this go with the new vampires. Not a big deal. Should have been a 3 since they changed the effect. El Shadow Fusion, I didn't even know that shit was literally hit. I don't even know why they would do that. But whatever. Future Fusion, completely garbage. Since they changed the effect. Just it doesn't matter. That shit is trash. You only can activate. It's basically a future fusion the second turn after you activate it. It makes no sense. How you got half of a card? How you have an empty card in your hand? That shit is not a card until the next turn. Trash. Mind control at 3, they drunk. I'm just gonna tell you straight up. I don't know why they did that. Plus, the reason why Brain Control looks good right now is because of the fact that mind controls at 3. That's honestly what it is. Preparation of rites, yes, rituals need the support. I completely agree with that. Sacrifice, that's pretty dope. They back, I guess. Bottomless trap hole, not that many people uses that, but people is not as surprised as how I've seen online and on YouTube and stuff like that when they heard about this list, but that's because it's early. Wait till this shit becomes effective and their monster starts getting removed. They're gonna be pissed that shit is at 3. Ceasefire is 3. I didn't know why it wasn't at 3. Ceasefire at 2 was broken. I remember there was this deck, there was this archetype that I had. It was called Star Dollars. I still actually have it in YGO Pro, but it's pretty much the level 10 deck. It runs the super drawn out Gustav. That the one that burns you for 2,000. I ran it with trains, and you know how you have the level 10 train, and there's this level 10 monster that he works like I forgot this guy's name. He works like the level 8 that could be normal summon without triggering it, and he becomes a 19. I think it's Beast King, but he's a level 10 one, and you can normal summon him without triggering. And then I use that with the train field spell, and then I get the other level 10 train to make Gustav. It was a completely burning deck. And Ceasefire in that deck at 2 was so beast because I'm burning you for 2,000 and I'll usually have 4 monsters on the field. And Ceasefire comes from my opponents too. So all I have to do is burn you twice that monster with the Exceed, which he has 2, you know, 2 materials to use it because you got it detached too, right? So he gets the effect twice. It was pretty much game. Once I hit you with the effect once, and remember you could attack and use the effect. So that's 5,000. Yeah, Ceasefire was just broken at 2. So I don't know why they just didn't have it at 3. Like 2 or 3 did not matter. It was broken. I don't know who's gonna be using that deck nowadays, but I I guess it could be at 3. I had a slick version of winning with that deck too. I don't know if people remember the card Drelago. Anything on the field that's 16 attack or higher, basically higher than its attack, I can attack directly. That was like my Gagaga for that deck. Ojama Trio, I mean, you want to stop links and mutual links. Doesn't make sense. The Konami likes to do this. So it would make sense if Ojama Trio was unlimited because you will be able to stop your opponent from making all these power plays. Now, some link monsters could actually use tokens to be made, but the important ones can't, So the way Konami does it is like, well, now that they can't really, now that we pretty much stopped them from link summoning crazy, we could put Ojama Trio at 3. That's the way that they feel about it. Because if you think about it, it makes sense. The whole point of Ojama Trio was to kind of like stop them from covering the whole field by you putting their tokens there and taking their zones. The thing was that Only a few Link monsters could get over that because they can use tokens, but some can't. So what I'm trying to say is this is how they work. So now that they pretty much ended the whole Link spam with Grand Golem being at 1 and Gofu being banned, might as well put it at 3. That's the way they see it, and that's what Torrential Tribute's at 3. You shouldn't be able to spam link, 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 link. Even if you do, yeah, there's 3 bottomless and there's 3 Torrential Tribute. So you're gonna have to be a lot more careful now when it comes to trying to make these big plays. And that's even if you can make it, because that's the whole point of this list. So you won't be able to make it. I like it because they actually brought the game back. They brought the game back to like a regular flow. It's all about. It was about monster effects for a very long time. You could say since 5Ds, but now it's since 5Ds, Xseeds, and Pendulums. Now it's about traps, like how it was in the first season in GX. So I definitely agree with the list. It was kind of harsh, except for the Gofu, the Dandelion, and the Maxi. I agree with it. The limited list, like I said, except for Maxi, Dandelion, Gofu should be at 1. The limited list is good. I'm surprised it brought back Monster Reborn, and everything else is looking good. Thunder King Raiho at 3. Back then there was no anti-meta. Back then it was just straight meta. No, there was no way to anti-meta. It was hard to anti-meta. I think the only thing that was like kind of anti-meta was the kaijus, but even then people was using the kaijus against them, and creature swap and all that stuff, and it was just like it was getting crazy, it was getting crazy. But kaiju was kind of anti-meta, but not really. But now meta is kind of back, not just because of the Thunder King, but they have more traps now that could defend itself. Because Splash is still a good card. That's starting to tribute. Splash is still good. I'm gonna make another video right after this one talking about which cards should be off the list, because, like I said in my old video, it was a few videos back that I made. It's kind of silly that every single card that they rotted is limited. I don't think every single card that they rotted is unlimited. I may be wrong about that, but I don't think they are. But I really don't agree with cards getting errated. Like, for example, which card is here that's a terrible errata? Oh, the brain control. Like, it's just like, well, what's the point of that? We have we could work with mind control. Now they're messing with our thoughts and strategy that could take up card space. And everybody's trying to run that 40 to 45 card deck or 50. I mean, I don't do more than 40, but some people do 42. But 40 is the best, and it's gonna make you take away space just because you feel like, oh, this card is better, when in reality is not better. Same, like Future Fusion is nothing to me. Is nothing. Like, how long is that Future Fusion gonna last? Like, they're Typhoon isn't Typhoon at 3, MSC's at 3. You have the double cyclone and all that other stuff. They're popping that Future Fusion. You're not getting that effect. You're not gonna get it. You're just not gonna get it. I don't see. And the monster effects nowadays, well, how they left off, because now, like I said, it's all about traps. They're popping. Like, they're definitely popping that Future Fusion. It just doesn't make sense to me. So I disagree with Eradas. What they should do is give them those cards back their effects and just, limit it. Limit it. Don't give them their effects to ban them. Limit it. Like, I kind of understand Brionic, because all it took was 1, so you can have the infinite loop with Asian City Rainbow Ruins, and you have 4 in the back row, draw a card, discard a card, put the field spell back to your hand, activate it again, infinite draw. That's beast. And if your person didn't have an answer to that, you're just gonna draw into Exodia. So I kind of understand that, but you could have just banned it. Like, people wanted him so. See how people see. It's the community that kind of messes it up. It's not Konami. Y'all want him back so bad, knowing that there could have been a whole bunch of more infinite loops. What they was gonna do, they messed it up. So now he's at 3. Is anybody using Brionic? I mean, like, to go to, you know what I mean? Like, think about it right now. Like, is anybody gonna use Brionic? Maybe now since he's at 3, but I doubt it because even when he was at 1 or whatever he was when they eroded him, like nobody was using him. And then more new cards gonna come out, and this guy is from 5Ds. 2 more Yu-Gi-Oh seasons later, or 1 more, they definitely not touching that Brianna. You know what I mean? Trishula's a different story. That's a great card. But like, like there was that. There's no point of Brianna. They just made him unusable. He could have just stayed with his normal effect in the ban list because that's pretty much what he is now. Change the effect and nobody's gonna use him. Nobody is using that Brianna. I'm just saying it right now. Maybe for this season, but after the next one, whatever's after Link's card, like yeah, he's not gonna be used. I'm telling you that right now. He's like, he's garbage. Just plain and simple. He's fucking garbage. So yeah, I'll make another video talking about cards that should be off the ban list and uh cards that shouldn't be eroded. Like, what people's crazy about this card. Pot of Desire, you're banishing 10 and you're drawing 2. God damn. For all that, you could have made it, pay 3,000 life points to draw 2 cards. Or pay half your life points to draw 2 cards. You could have done that. 10 cards, you're killing your whole deck. People's messing up with that card. They really like it. It works in those decks that has quick draw power. But when you're playing in real life and you have to shuffle your cards, is a different story in real life than in the game. In the games, you can manipulate and you can stack and do a whole bunch of stuff and make your hands look very decent. Because I play Yu-Gi-Oh in real life, and in real life, the hands in real life compared to like how it is in the game, completely different. Completely different. All them quick decks, I'm not saying they don't exist in real life, but it's just different. So I believe they shouldn't make erratas. It is just messing it up. Let's just be straightforward with the ban list. You know, like what? All right, Giant True right? You see that Giant True. Now they have something else called localized True. I think it's only for set cards. I think Giant True was face up or face down. Now they have something called localized True, which is just set down cards. It's basically still a Giant True. People was using Giant True for setted cards. You know what I mean? It was just good that face up cards could go back to the hand too. But why would they ban it to make a cheaper one? You know what I mean? Like, I thought the whole point of the errata was to do that. So now they made a new card that was basically the errata for the original card. You know what I mean? So they kind of seen that right there's the proof that there's no reason to have erratas. If it's too good, they're banned. That's it. Like pretty much it. Right now, they should just be careful of the cards that they're gonna make, and that's it. You know what I mean? But we do find ways to make those cards broken. That just means they're not paying attention to their archetypes, and they're not thinking as like the players. Because we will be able, as the players, to see like, okay, maybe we shouldn't make this card because then in this deck it'll be too broken. But that's the whole point of the reason why those people make the cards, because they don't really play. You know what I mean? If a player was trying to create these cards or whatever it is, it'll be too hard because we're gonna see all these combos that we could do with other decks. But we could still do it in a fair way, I guess. If what I'm saying is making sense now, I'm not trying to lose anybody, but I still disagree with erratas. I definitely disagree with erratas. Like for example, Heavy Storm. Like okay, we pretty much kind of have a Heavy Storm out in the loose. We still got Night Beams, which is still a great card. Whoever wants to use it, you can't even act anything to that. The Noble Extinctionist or whatever it's called is another good card. Removes the face down. It's kind of slow, yeah. But MST, Double Cyclone, the Dice Cyclone, and all that stuff. The Dust Tornado, the Heavy Dust Tornado, and then the Twin Twisters and the Double Cyclone. There's still great cards out there, but there's so many cards to pop. Might as well hit all of those to one and then put Heavy Storm at one or something, Because I get it. You're not gonna run 3 MSTs and 3 Twin Twisters. That's you're taking up space, but like they can create more space. What I'm trying to say. So yeah, that's just it for this video. I'm gonna wrap up this video, but I really feel like they can make the ban list way, 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 way better. Way better. I'm just gonna talk about certain cards that shouldn't be in the list. Um I'm gonna try to hopefully get it done by tonight, if not tomorrow, but most likely tonight. But I'm definitely looking forward to talk about that because there is a lot of cards that's in the ban list right now and that are limited. I'm mostly gonna talk about the bans. I'm not talking about the limited cards. I think the limited card is kind of fine, but I'm gonna take a good look at it too. But the ban list mostly because there's some cards that they shouldn't even be there right now. You know, it's just kind of stupid. Like Stratos, I don't know why he's still not unbanned, even though Heroes could get out of hand with that Stratos, but still, like the mechanics of the link formatted of the sixth season is too good, and it slows down a lot of stuff. You know, I feel uncomfortable with Gofu being banned and Grind the Golem being at one. They should have just hit Grind the Golem because Grind the Golem is still good at one, or just bring back Gofu because I feel like there's like a balance. It just feels better. Like either no Grind the Golem, no Gofu, or one Grind the Golem, one Gofu. You know, it just kind of makes sense. But this is a weird list for sure. And yeah, that's pretty much everything I have to say. So yeah, there's 100%, and there's 100% me to you, Gammon. I'm signing out.